How's it going, folks? This is Bryant with Echo Adventure Cooperative, and today we're going to try to discuss a little bit about Euro nymphing rigs and how they work. So you've probably seen some of these things around. This is a two-tone indicator tippet. So as you pull this out, I've got green and then it turns into pink. And so these are great for adding on to your existing tippet or leader package that you may have purchased, a Euro nymph leader, if it breaks, which shouldn't break, or if you're going to build your own rig. So we're going to go over a couple things. We're going to go over how to build your own rig. We're also going to go over these leader packs and tippet rings. So the leader packs, the Rio, there's different products out there. I like the Rio because it does come pre-assembled for you. It's pretty easy, and it comes with a tippet ring. So as long as you don't cut that tippet ring off, you should be able to use this forever. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so we've got a couple different things sitting here, and these are all good to have in your bag. Especially if you're going to start getting into high stick nymphing, or if you already do and you're curious about building your own rigs. Now, some people ask why you would build your own rig if you can just buy one like this pre-assembled. And the reason for that is if you're high stick nymphing a shallower creek and you don't want to lift your arm up any higher, you just want to narrow your leader or have a shorter length leader kit, you can build your own. So this one's nice. It comes pre-packaged. We're going to have this available online and in our store. And it has a color-coded tippet from Rio, two-tone indicator tippet, already built into its leader. And the difference between this and building your own is this is a more stiffer butt section in your leader. So the attachment that goes into your fly line, where your improved, or your perfection loop is, is stiffer, it's thicker. And this leader could last forever if you take care of it. But we're not going to get into that too much today. We're going to look at building our own. So if you get a set of tippet rings, a two-tone indicator tippet, and then you can get either some fluorocarbon, or like I have some XL smooth casting trilene that I found from when I was a kid and I used to do spin fishing. You can use this up instead of just sitting and going to waste. I would suggest definitely going with a higher pounds. This is 6 pounds just to use today, but you might want to go up to something like 10 pound to start this, so that you have a stiffer end section. You want that really top section to be stiff. Okay, so let's get into it here. We went ahead and we pulled off a spool of this. So as you pull this out, it's going to get change color. So you're going to have green and then pink. And the way I like to do it is I like to put my green on the bottom. So the green is going to go towards where my flies are, and this is going to attach to the line that's going to attach to my fly line. So there's multiple ways of doing this. You can attach this with a tippet ring, or you can use the surgeon's knot as well. So what I like to do is I like to attach this section. These two sections are super strong. They're not gonna really break. So I attach these two with a surgeon's knot. That happens sometimes. Make sure you don't miss that. See how that one just didn't follow through with the other. Cinch that down, make sure it's nice and tight. can trim those a little closer if you want, not a big deal for me because this is just for my indicator. And then what I'm going to do is tie a perfection loop on this end. And if you need help tying these, you can refer back to videos that we've made for this knot. There we go. And then that attaches to my leader. That's a little bit big, but you can tie it a little smaller. So we've got a perfection loop down to a two-tone tippet. And then from here I'm going to add more tippet and then possibly a tippet ring. You can also add your tippet ring here as well. I do not. The way I do mine, because my rigs are very long, is I add quite a bit to this end here. And I just do another surgeons. We're just going to do a single for now just to show it. Okay. This is a very complicated rig sometimes if you're making these on your own. Okay, so what I have there is a two-tone tippet from Rio. I've got some just nylon that was laying around. Perfection loop, and then at the end I have another piece of tippet tied on with a surgeons, and then from this point here, for me, this is where I tie on my tippet ring. Now here's the fun part. These tippet rings come in a pack, and they come with a swivel. A lot of people get confused about the swivel. Don't get too confused about the swivel. So the swivel is holding your tippet rings. See that? So you can open this up. And then you just pull one off. You gotta be extremely careful. This is a lot easier to do here than on the river. See if we can get one off there. There we go. Okay. So we've got one off, as you see there. And this is where your hemostats come into play. There's all kinds of different hemostats out there. I just use the ones that I have available to me. But there are ones with a little bit of a tighter nose than these here. But this is the best way that I found to tie a clinch on the end for your tippet ring. So you're just going to put it through there just like it's the eyelet of a hook, and then you're just going to use, I use my hemostats to spin it, and then I use a single clinch. I don't use an improved clinch because there's not a whole lot of room on these tippet rings. there's that one, and then what I'll do is I'll just attach the next one off of here, and then from there I put my fly on that. Now the greatest thing that I love about tippet rings is from there on I can change out my leaders over and over and over, no problem. I don't have to change this out again. I can also use this for the putty weight. I can put it around there, and then it doesn't mess with or interfere with my flies. Sometimes having weight above your flies so that the weight's on the bottom of the river and your flies are up here is a perfect combination. Okay. Then you just trim the excess, and that's your tippet ring. There's nothing to it.